everyone. Welcome to another edition of Wild Breakaway. Alongside Gigi, Marvin, I'm Audra Martin. Tonight marked Minnesota's first ever trip to Seattle to take on the Kraken, and it did not go as planned. They fall 4-1, the final score. It also is their first loss on the road this season and marks the first loss between the pipes for Cam Talbot.
Tough one to take, but they came out strong. They got the first goal of the game. However, it's as if they were a little bit on their heels, thought that they would be a little too easy, and Seattle really came out strong. They took the play to them. They put a lot of shots on net on Cam Talbot and drove the net hard, and so not as exciting of a start and a finish or a middle part. They did excellent on the start and the finish, but couldn't quite come back and pull off the W.
Let's take a look at how things went down on the West Coast, because it did get off to a good start. Ryan Hartman gets his third goal of the season on a great feed, a nice backhand feed from Kirill Kaprizov.
Beautiful backhand feed from Kaprizov, and it starts with puck moving up from high to low. Kaprizov, look at that look over his shoulder, feeds it to a wide open Hartman in front of the net.
Well, Seattle would answer later in the first period as Hayden Fleury fires through traffic to get his team on the board.
I mean, this is just awesome. That redirect is kind of like playing pool, where it comes off the wall and he one-touches it, doesn't catch it, doesn't dust it off, he shoots it off the pass, which is always difficult to handle for a goalie.
Into the second period now. Fleury denied initially, but hey, he stays with it and he makes it look easy with a wraparound and a 2-1 lead.
Heads up play to fake a shot, walk the D, catch your own rebound, and jam it in far side.
But as we said earlier, Cam Talbot, just spectacular between the pipes. It's tough to see his perfect 5-0 start come to an end tonight with his first loss of the season, but he had some huge saves when his team really needed it.
He did. He was so strong. He played hard, and with so many people in his face, like we mentioned, they drove the net hard and he stood his ground.
So it's a 4-1 final because of a couple empty net goals. Seattle just not about to give their fans any second to sit down. They add to it and they pick up their second ever win on home ice.
Yeah, Coach Evison pulled his goalie early, and you know, I'm always for that. You want to put give yourself the most chance to get an offensive goal, but unfortunately was able to get two empty netters in that.
So here's a look at your final stats. And as we mentioned, Cam Talbot spectacular. It was a season-high 34 saves, but his first loss of the season. And when it comes to Seattle, tip your cap to Hayden Fleury. 2 goals on the night tonight. His previous best in a season was 4 goals. So he's already halfway there with the win here tonight against the Minnesota Wild. Speaking of the Wild, they had to make some adjustments when it comes to lines, with a couple guys out on the defense when it comes to injuries. Also some forwards out with COVID protocol issues. So not exactly an easy situation for the head coach, and even though they were dealing with that, they didn't also follow the game plan overall.
Our offensive zone wasn't very good. Like we usually generate more off of hanging on to pucks, getting it up to the top, and then using our rotation to get people involved. And we didn't do a lot of that, in tonight's hockey game, period. Forget about the 2 guys that were out.
So the road trip continues and wraps up on Saturday as the Wild head to the Mile High City to take on the Colorado Avalanche for the first time this season. Join us Saturday at 7:30 for Wild Live on Bally Sports North. We look forward to seeing you then. Until then, for Gigi, Marvin, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway.